Welcome back to Hardball. This year, several Iraq war veterans are returning from the front lines and running for Congress. Earlier this month, Democrat Paul Hackett narrowly lost a special congressional election in a heavily Republican district in Ohio. Patrick Murphy is an Iraq war veteran who served in the 82nd Airborne in Baghdad and earned the Bronze Star. He's currently running for Congress in Pennsylvania's 8th District, which includes includes my old stamping grounds in Philadelphia, Monday, Bucks County. Patrick, did you vote for Kerry or Bush for president last time?
I voted for President Kerry, or John Kerry.
Do you think he would be a better commander-in-chief in the field right now over there leading our men and women in battle?
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Why would Kerry be a better commander-in-chief than President Bush?
Because John Kerry would support the troops. Under John Kerry's watch, we wouldn't cut veterans' benefits this year by $155 million, which we're doing right now under this president.
If you were in Congress back in 2002, right before that last congressional election, before when they decided whether to go to war or not, would you have voted to authorize going to war in Iraq? Not the war on terrorism, the war in Iraq.
Right. Now, that's a tough question, Chris, and it's hard to play Monday morning quarterback. But I taught constitutional law at West Point, and I can tell you right now, I would have made sure I wouldn't have punted my constitutional responsibility. Congress declares war. They gave a blank check to this president, and that was the wrong thing to do. That's why we have checks and balances.
Patrick, you would have voted nay then.
I would have made sure I wouldn't have had my name.
You have to vote aye. Let me tell you how Congress. I'm not going to talk to you like this. I was going to be sarcastic, but I thank you for your service. So I'm going to treat you with respect. You got to vote A or nay. Would you vote A to go to war or nay not to?
It's a hard call, Chris.
I know. That's why you run for Congress. You shouldn't run for Congress if you don't want to make that call. What would you have done? You've got 2 years of overs. You can look back and decide whether there's a right way or vote. Those guys who had to vote then and women had to look ahead. You're looking back. Was it the right vote or the wrong vote to authorize going into Iraq?
It was, Chris, it was a decision that was rushed into and they didn't do their job.
Would you have voted A or nay? Would you have voted A or nay, Patrick Murphy? No, it's not hard to say. You got 3 years of looking back.
Chris, I'm not pro-war, anti-war. I'm pro-troops. And I'm adamant about that.
So you're running for Congress and you're running on the war issue, but you're not saying whether you would have voted for authorizing the war or not.
Chris, you got to understand, too, I served where 19 guys lost their lives. And
I know. That's why I thought you'd have a strong opinion.
Well, Chris, I don't want to dishonor the guys I served with over there. So I'm not going to say that.
Okay, let me ask you about Cindy Sheehan. She was on the program yesterday. She's an extremely articulate spokesperson for her point of view. Do you share it?
It's a tragic situation, Chris. That's another example where people are polarizing this issue and getting involved and sticking their nose into their family's business. She lost a son in war. It's hard for me to say she's right or she's wrong. Now,
well, do you think she's right that the president hasn't given us a straight answer as to why we're fighting? Is she right on that point?
Absolutely.
Why do you think
this administration, when FDR was president, he gave weekly fireside chats and gave people of America a briefing on what's going on over World War II in Japan and Germany. The fact is we don't get these weekly briefings. We don't get hardly any briefings right now, and people don't know what's going on. Why are men and women? Why do we lose 7 people this week in Pennsylvania alone? That's tough.
Well, let me ask you about
giving us that answer.
Let me ask you about the president. He made 4 claims at the beginning of the war that somehow Iraq was involved with the Al-Qaeda organization that attacked us 9/11. Was that true?
CIA said that's not true. Our own government said that's not true.
Did Saddam Hussein possess nuclear weapons or a potential to build nuclear weapons or a program to do it?
Our CIA said that we didn't have that yellow cake was a falsity and that was also not true.
Do you believe that the Iraqi oil is going to pay for the cost of this war? From the beginning, from the day we got in to when we leave, that's what they said in the beginning. Iraqi oil would pay for this war. We taxpayers wouldn't have to pay for it. Is that true?
I think that's a third strike. I think that's a third strike that is not true.
Okay, the tricky one. They said that all we had to do was decapitate the leaders over there. It would be like overturning the communists over in Eastern Europe. The minute we got rid of the bad guys at the top, the people would be on our side and be rushing to our side. Do you believe the Iraqi people overwhelmingly support the U.S. occupation?
I think that they supported it in the beginning, and now they're saying, this is America. Why aren't we having energy more than 3 hours an hour? Why are our kids still getting blown up in the street by those IEDs? Art, when you say we, it was this administration. It wasn't military leaders. General Shinseki testified under oath in Congress and said we need several 100,000 troops. We never got those troops. We never got the body armor. We never got the armor in our vehicles. We don't have the anti-detonation devices on our vehicles right now. That we have the technology here in America. 2 years later, why isn't every vehicle there protecting our soldiers, truly supporting the troops? The fact is, we're not supporting the troops as much as we can. And when we're coming home, we're not supporting the veterans. And that's why they're cutting veterans benefits right now. Now, they need people with the moral courage, their leadership that's going to stand up and say, I fought over there. I saw with my own eyes. I walked in my own boots over there. I don't need a briefing on Capitol Hill to know what's going on over there. I see. And the fact is I did see the truth. And I'm here and I'm running for the truth. And I'm running as a proud Democrat.
Well, I couldn't be prouder of you, Patrick. I wish you well in this campaign. I hope you give a good fight to Michael Fitzpatrick and you make him defend his seat, or you beat him. Anyway, good luck in that race. Anyway, when we return, a new challenge to drunken